What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, today is episode 7 of our mini series Manchester United players. Uh, get us to 200 subscribers by the end of the month and stay tuned, guys. Alright, guys, so today we'll be speaking about our second pivot midfielder, that is Scott McTominay. Now, we are all familiar with him because he has integrated himself into a regular starter in our side this season. And let's get into it. So let's talk about some benefits. Okay, guys, so benefit number one, he provides height in the box when we are either attacking on a set piece or we have conceded a set piece. So what I'm saying here is that when we have a set piece in which we can score a chance on goal, he can be one of the target men in the box that can score across from Bruno or Telles or even Luke Shaw, whoever the set piece taker may be. And also, when we have conceded a set piece, something like a free kick of some sorts, he can be one of the players who aids us because of his height in the box to clear that cross and so forth. So our second benefit is that Scott McTominay can shoot the ball well. So he can shoot it from distance, he can shoot it within the penalty area, and he has that ability to put the ball in the back of the net, which most of our players don't possess, which are like Fred, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, just to name a few of our players. But you will understand that these are more defensive-minded players. Now, in my opinion, Scott McTominay is not a CDM per se. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder. And in the few little matches where he was instructed to go forward, that is when he showed us as the fans that he has the ability to shoot the ball and it's one of his strengths. So I can give you two examples of it against Manchester City in last year's derby where we won. I believe it was 2-0. Just the same scoreline as this year, where Edison made a mistake and threw the ball on a platter for McTominay, and he made the most of it. And a more recent instance is this season against Leeds, where on two occasions he was able to run forward in the opponent's offensive third, and he scored two brilliant goals. So we need to see more of that from Scott. So hopefully in the near future or in the future overall, we can see more of that from Scott McTominay. Alright, guys, so let's talk about the third benefit of Scott McTominay's game and what he provides to United. So he's very energetic, and that's very much so needed in our midfield, especially due to the fact that last season, the player who got the nod over McTominay was Matic. So now we can see that the better days of Matic is behind, and he doesn't really provide that level of energy that we require in the midfield now. And having that energy is what complements Fred's tenacity, as I said in previous videos, that Fred has tenacity, which is a benefit to the team. And with that tenacity and the energy that Scott McTominay provides, can be something positive in our midfield. So yes, Scott McTominay has energy, and it's a good thing to possess in our midfield. Alright, guys, so this leads us to our fourth and final benefit, which is that he works hard. So this can be somewhat of a continuation to our third point, which is that he's energetic, he works hard. So everybody on a football pitch has to work hard, but Scott McTominay and Fred, so to speak, I believe why they really get the nod more than the likes of Donny van de Beek, possibly a Juan Mata, or even sometimes Pogba, because it even seems that they are the more favored players than the players that I would have like Van de Beek, Pogba, Mata, just to name a few players. He works hard, and he's a passion merchant, so to speak. So when you have the passion, you will work hard, you will put in the time, put in the ethic, you know, have that work ethic to ensure that you do what the manager instructs. So this is another benefit that he possesses. He works hard and he ensures that he does what he needs to do. So that's our four benefits about Scott McTominay. So despite all of these benefits that I've mentioned about Scott McTominay, he has a few, or rather several setbacks to his game that really adds to our deficiency in our team, because Manchester United, we have a lot of cracks in the ceiling. So let us speak about some of the setbacks about Scott McTominay now. Alright, so the first setback I want to speak about is that he lacks creativity. And this for me is a very important thing to possess, especially if you are a deep playing midfielder. As a deep playing midfielder that Ole tends to play Scott in, you should have the ability to make a defense splitting pass, getting the ball behind one line to the next, for example, I would be more comfortable if Ole plays Pogba in the position that McTominay plays, because Pogba has that ability because he's creative to play that defense splitting pass. And for me, it's a very big deficiency in Scott McTominay's game. And for me, that's why I don't I would, if I was a Manchester United manager, I wouldn't really play him week in week out because of his lack of creativity. So guys, this leads us to our second point, which is that he's a poor passer. Now, don't get me wrong, he can pass the ball to his teammates, and I'm not saying he can't pass the ball at all, but more instance than not, he tends to give away the ball than to pass the ball to his teammate. Now, for me, that's a big issue because, as I said, he's one of our two pivot midfielders, so he should have that ability to pass the ball well. Now, when you watch Scott McTominay, he more often tends to play the square passes, giving the ball back to the person who he just received the ball from. Those are things that he needs to work on, being able to make a defense splitting pass, playing the ball through the channels, for his attackers. So for me, he's very poor with his passing and he needs to improve that. Now, this leads us to our third setback. He cannot really dribble the ball well. Now, for me, I don't think it's fair to really compare him with Paul Pogba, but I have to, because he's playing in a position similar to what Pogba is known to play, and I have to differentiate both players because Pogba is on a different level than Scott McTominay. Now, we know Pogba can spray a 40-yard pass, a 20-yard pass, a pass through the channels. Scott McTominay doesn't have that. And now, let's get back to the point that he cannot really dribble well. Now, I've seen on countless occasions where Scott McTominay has won the ball in midfield either by some interception or Fred wins it and gives it to him. Now, there are few occasions where I see Scott McTominay can carry the ball from the defensive third to the offensive third. Now, I think as well, you should possess the ability to carry the ball as well. As a deep playing midfielder, you should have the confidence, you should have the ability to carry the ball because it's one of the things that you should possess, For example, if your number 10 is having a poor game, you should have that ability to create by dribbling, opening gaps for other players, That's what I'm really getting at. When Bruno is having a bad game, or even Van der Beek if he's playing at the 10, Scott McTominay should have that dribbling ability to create for others, So that for me is a major issue as well. Now, let's talk about our fourth point, our fourth setback about Scott McTominay's game. Now, He's playing as a CDM for Manchester United. And to be frank, most instances to me he looks like he's poor defensively. So the point is that he's poor defensively. Now, as I said previously, earlier on in the video, I believe that Scott McTominay is a box-to-box midfielder. I don't believe that he's a CDM per se. And I'm not justifying the reason as to why he is poor defensively due to the fact that he's playing out of position. But there should be some level of trust, some level of confidence that the manager has in the player to put him in that position. Now, for me, he's poor defensively. Yes, he's energetic and tends to run around, but when he goes up against the likes of Neymar, the Mbappes, the Lionel Messis, even the likes of Paulo Dybala, those players who have guile in their game, has the dribbling ability to get by, and the players who can pass the ball. I think Scott McTominay and poor defensively can also be related to reading passes, defense between passes, organizing your midfield. You know, he doesn't have those. Matic has that ability, but he's not on the level he once was. So for me, he's poor defensively in a lot of ways that you can imagine. Alright guys, so we're at our fifth setback about Scott McTominay. That is that he makes a lot of mistakes. Now, this for me can be as a result of our four previous setbacks. Now, excuse me. Now, the fact that he lacks creativity can lead him to lose a lot of possession. He's trying to be creative, and therefore he's trying to make channel passes, defense between passes, and losing possession. So therefore, he's prone to make mistakes, and when you lose possession, that is a mistake made by a player, as well as I said, poor passing as well. If you don't have that natural ability to pass the ball well, you're going to give away possession, which as a result leads to a mistake. If you can't dribble as well, if you're trying to dribble, therefore you have players tackling you, players that possess tenacity tackling you, lose possession. That's a mistake as well. And if you're poor defensively, as I said, you're not able to read the game, you're not able to organize properly your defense, your midfield, what have you. You're prone to make mistakes as well. So for me, making mistakes or being prone to make mistakes is an accumulation of our four previous points to this one. Okay guys, so let's talk about our sixth and final point. Probably this is a repeat of one of our previous points, is that he is poor defensively. Scott McTominay does not shield our defensive line. Now, this is down to him and Fred's incapability of really playing that CDM role well. But what I'm saying, guys, is that when we play the likes of the top 6 teams in the Premier League, it's quite evident that they have problems shielding our backline, because there's a lot of instances where teams like Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool as well, even the likes of West Ham United have caused threat to our defense, and it's because we have two incompetent CDMs. Now, to be honest with you, I believe that Pogba, he can put in a better shift than Scott McTominay, can. Now, I know persons might say no, that Scott McTominay is better defensively, but if you watch how Pogba plays for France, every time he plays for his country, he shows the world that he can play that deep role and put in a tackle, put in a shift as well. Now, this is down to lack of trust by the manager and a mixture of a lot of stuff, but we're talking about Scott. So guys, this has led us to have a lot of issues in defense, and for me it's something that he either needs to work on, or we need to get a player who can fill that void that we have in our midfield. So for me, these are just a few things about Scott McTominay that I want to talk about. Now guys, now that you have gotten to the end of the video, I implore you guys to like, share and subscribe to the channel and get us to our target of 200 subscribers. Now I know you guys love the channel, so just help